People think environmental destruction happens because we are careless, but that is wrong. Environmental harm persists because it is cheap. And in Nigeria, cheap harm is not an accident. It is designed. Walk with me. You are watching EarthlyNaija, where we break down Nigeria's environmental truth in simple language. And today, we continue our February series on solving environmental failure in Nigeria, with particular focus on accountability, incentives, and action. The topic for discussion is the polluter pays, making harm expensive. Let's get into it. When polluting costs less than protecting, damage becomes rational, not moral, rational. So the real question is not why people pollute. The real question is, why does the system reward it? Today, we talk about one principle that can reverse this logic entirely. It is called the polluter pays principle. The polluter pays principle is simple but radical. It says this: if you cause environmental harm, you pay the full cost of that harm. Not part of it, not later, not indirectly. The cost of pollution should show up where the decision is made: in company balance sheets, in project budgets, in profit calculations. Once harm is expensive, behavior changes. Not because people become ethical overnight, but because the system becomes intelligent. This is not activism. This is economic design. Right now, environmental costs are pushed outward. A factory, for example, dumps waste into a river. The company saves money. The community pays with sickness. Another causes oil spill, which destroys farmland. The operator continues production. The farmers lose livelihoods. Blocked drainage causes flooding. Developers profit. Cities drown. And the economists call this externalization of cost. The damage exists, but it does not appear on the polluter's books. And what is not counted is not controlled. Internalizing environmental cost means forcing damage back into the system. It means pollution stops being invisible. It becomes measurable, priced, enforced. When the company knows that every liter of waste dumped, every hectare destroyed, every emission released will cost real money, behavior shifts. Cleaner production becomes cheaper than pollution. Prevention becomes cheaper than cleanup. Compliance becomes cheaper than bribery. This is where the state matters. The first tool is environmental taxation. Pollution taxes place a direct price on harmful activity, not symbolic fines, real costs. For example, emission taxes per unit of pollution, waste disposal fees based on volume and toxicity, extraction levies reflecting environmental damage. If you pollute more, you pay more. No exemptions, no negotiations. The goal here is not revenue, remember. The goal is deterrence. When pollution is taxed properly, companies innovate or exit. Both outcomes protect the environment. The second tool is legal liability. If you cause damage, you must restore the environment, not donate money not fund a token project. Restore it. This includes mandatory cleanup orders, ecosystem rehabilitation, compensation for affected communities. Crucially, liability must be strict. No need to prove intent. No excuses about accidents. If harm occurs, responsibility follows automatically. Without this, environmental law is theater. The third tool is often ignored but powerful. High-risk industries should be forced to carry environmental insurance, performance bonds, financial guarantees before operations begin. This means companies must prove upfront that they can pay for damage before it happens. If a spill occurs, funds are already secured. No delays, no bargaining, no abandoned sites. If you cannot afford the risk, you do not operate. And this is regulation doing its job. Let us be clear today. Environmental failure is not inevitable. It is a policy choice. The tools exist. The principles are known. The mechanisms are proven. What is missing is not knowledge. It is political will. When harm becomes expensive, destruction slows. When destruction slows, communities breathe. And when the state enforces the polluter pays principle, it stops managing crises and starts preventing them. This is not radical. This is responsible governance. See you on the next one.